on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and we are back at you again today with another Madden Ultimate Team video. We're taking it back today. We're going to be going over MUT 17, going over all of the promo sets, cards, everything you needed to know or wanted to see about MUT 17. This is something that I like to do every summer when the current MUT gets stale and there's really nothing to make videos on. We go revisit old Madden Ultimate Teams and just have a little bit of nostalgia, right? So the original plan was to drop videos on MUT 25, MUT 16, MUT 15. I got all the discs right here, but sadly, as I went to record videos today, I found out that this past December, EA shut down the servers for good on some of those older games. So here we are on MUT 17. We're going to take a look at it. This MUT was pretty good from what I remember. The gameplay wasn't my favorite, but the Madden Ultimate Team experience, the sets, the cards, everything was pretty solid. You might notice some currencies up at the top. This was a year of contracts. If you guys were unaware, there was a place and time in Madden Ultimate Team where you actually had contracts on each of your cards. And if you ran out of contracts, you couldn't use that card anymore unless you went and bought more. And luckily, they got rid of that system because thinking back on it, it was absolutely terrible. They also had tickets. And from what I remember, tickets you needed to play head-to-head seasons. There was no weekend league at this time from what I remember, if I remember correctly, and that wasn't a great system at all. Basically, you had to pay to play the game, which is just not good at all. Now, you could earn tickets, and they weren't too hard to obtain, and they were very cheap for the most part. But here's what head-to-head seasons look like. Looks like never finished this last season here. Let's take a look at how bad I was at the game. Remember, I didn't really enjoy the gameplay in Madden 17. 386 and 213. I guess it wasn't incredibly too bad, but there's what the head-to-head leaderboard looked like on PS4. Here's what basically the season's hub kind of looked like with the graphics and whatnot. Let's move on to the cards, my team, all of the really fun stuff. Now, normally what I do to end out a year here's solo challenges, by the way. There aren't too many that are loaded in there. Year in review and an overall master. We'll see what those are when we get to sets. I was really surprised to see how many packs were available. So here's kind of like you can buy a pro pack right from here. We got the store, we got the auctions. I checked earlier today and there was literally no auctions on there, no trades on there, so there weren't any cards at all. Normally when I go back to these videos, there's a few items here and there, but on this one, Madden 17, just absolutely nothing to be found. What I did find and was very surprised here, and I almost want to do a separate video on this, is there's a lot of packs left to open up. We got Ultimate Legends, Fan Appreciation, Director's Cut packs, which we'll talk about with the Summer Blockbuster promo, Campaign, NFL Draft, Spotlight, and then just regular old-fashioned pro packs. We had bundles are empty here. Items, they did give us a time way back in the day where you could just buy cards right off of the auction house. They weren't good cards, but if you ever needed something for a specific set, they were actually pretty good. They did have limits, but they were really cheap. Here's contracts. You actually had to spend your coins to use your cards. Really stupid concept if you think about it. And then tickets, which is not here anymore. So I don't think I'm going to open up a bunch of packs in this video, but let's go ahead and open up a Fan Appreciation pack and see exactly what it looks like. We still have a little over 800,000 coins on this account. Obviously, we don't anymore, but let's see what we can get here. Braxton Miller out of position card. Take a look at the animations here. Christian Hackenberg. We got the flame emojis. They weren't really emojis, but you get the point. 90 overall. It looks like Ultimate Legend Michael Strahan. Yes, that's what it was here. A most feared Keanu Neal. And the last card, in 81 overall, Tony Bassielli. Did I kill his name? More than likely. So I think I'm going to save these coins. We might possibly do another video that's just strictly opening up all the packs in the store and seeing what we can get, see what we pull there. But that's what the store looks like in MUT 17. I'm just curious, down below in the comment section, let me know, what was your first MUT that you ever played? I want to see how many people are watching this video and never actually played Madden 17 Ultimate Team. So what I normally do to end out every year is I dump my main squad and I go with an All Eagles theme team. So this is what we're taking a look at here. Here's my All Eagles theme team, 97 overall. Take a look at the offense. We'll go over to the defense, and you might notice that the lineup screen is very limited. There's offense, defense, and specialists. So a lot of stuff that's in Madden Ultimate Team these days is just not found in the previous years of MUT. We'll see the evolution as we drop the videos. But here is the defense, 99 overall DRC, Jalen Mills, Sidney Jones, Eagles team looking kind of nice here. I was surprised to see how well this team actually looked. Now, chemistries were way different back in the day, guys. Here are chemistries, and basically each card came with a predetermined chemistry, which wasn't very ideal when you think about it. But we had Chain Mover, Field General, Pick Specialist. We had Team Chems. Here's Philadelphia Defense Tier 2. The different abilities, instead of what we have now, X Factors and abilities, these cards actually came with pre-made abilities. So like Deshaun Jackson has Playmaker on there. Donovan McNabb's card came with Gunslinger. Very, very weird stuff when you've been playing the way that we've been playing over the last couple of years to go back and see that stuff. So not as many, I would say, chemistry boosts as we've seen currently. There's definitely some in there, but they weren't the greatest because, you know, you couldn't pick the chems that you wanted on certain cards. Now, with an Eagles team, obviously, there's less players to pick from, but if you were building a God Squad, you're probably going to be able to find a bunch of cards that have the same chem and get better boosts from them. But that's kind of what they look like in MUT 17. Let's move on over to, I believe the sets are going to be next, and this is usually the most fun thing to go over here. Here they are, sets. So these are all the promos that we had, or most of the promos that we had in MUT 17. And Summer Blockbusters was one of my favorite of all time. Unfortunately, when you go into these sets, I think a lot of things have been removed, so they must have had expiration dates, but Summer Blockbusters basically was a promo that gave us the ability to just dump everything in our binder, and it gave so many good cards. There was a 99 overall, or maybe it didn't have an overall associated with it, but there was a Doug Peterson card that gave +1 speed to your entire team. There was a 99 overall OBJ. I remember completing it as soon as this promo came out, and I sold it for 1,000,000 coins, which back then, selling a card for 1,000,000 coins was a pretty big deal. Unfortunately, none of those sets are in here, but basically, you traded in items to get a movie ticket, and then each 99 overall card required X number of movie tickets to obtain it, and it was a really, really good promo. I don't think we've ever seen it since this year. We may have got it in MUT 18, I can't remember. We'll find that out when we visit that game, but it was a really good promo. Year in Review was kind of cool because they basically rehashed or brought out cards that we had seen previous in the year. Like here's a 99 overall Most Feared Reggie White. This Reggie White came out during the Most Feared promo in October, but it wasn't a 99. So they kind of like reskinned cards, but gave them 99 overalls. And honestly, I wasn't too mad at it because some of these were fan favorite cards. They were cards that a lot of people like to use throughout the year, and they basically made them reusable towards the end of the year. We had our typical NFL draft promo, which is probably not going to go away for a while. 99 overall Master Cam Newton, a 99 Myles Garrett, 98 Mitch Trubisky. Probably funny looking at some of these names on here and seeing the overalls that they got. There's a Jamal Adams, Christian McCaffrey, Patrick Mahomes had a 97 overall. Really funny to see like who turned out to be a good player and who turned out to be a bust in the NFL. Some of these guys are still pretty good players, obviously, in the league. Some of these guys, I have no idea where they are. So there is the draft promo. We had player spotlights. I remember the artwork on this, but I don't really remember what this entailed. So we had a 99 overall Tyreek Hill MasterCard, offensive master, and it looks like it just basically required random player spotlight cards. So this was a pretty straightforward promo. Deion Jones there at 99 overall. We're not going to go through every single promo because this video would take forever. 2016 campaign. I don't really remember what this was either. I think these were like cards that kind of evolved in their overall. So they started 81 overall, and then you had to put certain items into certain sets, and you could get them all the way up to a 97. There's a Travis Kelce, Kirk Cousins. So that was, I always like the idea of upgrading a card throughout a promo. Team MVPs, this is something that's similar to what we see now with Team Affinity. Basically, every single team had an MVP as a 95 overall. See on the right-hand side where they have their predetermined chemistries there for each card. So this has made it very difficult to build teams. Thank goodness we can pick our own now. The Master card was a 98 overall Aaron Donald. I'd imagine you had to collect all of these 95s to go ahead and get him. MUT Loyalty and Daily Login were basically ways to reward people who continue to play throughout the game. We had Ultimate Legends here. We're not going to go through all of them, but we'll take a look at the artwork. Rest in peace, Vincent Jackson, Eric Weddle, Mike Iupati, Julius Peppers, Chris Johnson, Randy White, John Elway. I don't think this is the year that they had current day players in the Ultimate Legend program, but we have seen that in the past. Position heroes, sparkle cards, diamond cards. Where is this promo? We never see this in MUT anymore, and I don't understand why, because it was always such a favorite. The card art was always so fire, and unfortunately, we just don't get positional heroes anymore. It was always one of the best. NFL movers we haven't really seen anymore. These weren't necessarily free agents, but guys who may have got traded instead of signing to a new team, and they had heroes for every week, it looks like. The Master card was a Marshawn Lynch, 99 overall. See the predetermined chems and abilities on the card, so you couldn't change team chems either. Those were predetermined. Redemption badges, earn badges, and burn badges. Way back in the day, we had elite badges, silver badges, gold badges, and they were a waste, because EA never gave us any sets to put these things in for a very long time. Eventually they did at the end of the year, but it just didn't matter. But basically, bronzes were a way to trade in like cards, old cards that weren't valuable. You would trade them into badges, and then you could put badges to get, these various cards and sets done. But also we had like flashbacks and whatnot. Let me go over here. Flashbacks, I think, required badges, if I'm correct. Here's a flashback Carson Palmer. He had some, looks like collectible items, not actually player cards. We had collectibles back in the day, guys, and lots of them. EA kind of smartened up with that eventually and got rid of collectibles and actually gave us usable items. But here's how you would have to put a flashback badge to get a flashback card, and I believe you needed like elite badges to earn a flashback badge to put into these sets. So it was a lot of work. It was it was just too much. Here's a 99 overall flashback master, Julio Jones. See the Nick Foles in there, a bunch of different players who had flashback cards, and that's how you got the master. I know I skipped over a bunch of other promos getting over to there. We had legends, of course, MUT gear. I don't remember what this was, but it's something they got rid of. Basically, you could put those chems on various jerseys, which would help out building your team, and that's what you would do with the MUT gear sets, it looks like. Season stars, I kind of feel like this was Rising Stars, but with maybe more modern not modern players, but players who are having good seasons. I really can't remember, but I'm just looking at all of the different upgrades and the ways to, or the different players with the different chemistries on there. Just crazy how you had to build a team. We had team heroes, which was similar to like team MVPs, but they were, these were actually 93. Okay, so there was one every single month. January, December, November. Looks like they gave up on this promo. Must have been based off of how people actually played, and that's why it ended in January. Campus Heroes, this one came back from MUT 21. It was a fan favorite for sure. Geno Smith, Josh Doxson, Carl Nabson. I remember there was, maybe it wasn't this year, but there was I think Julius Peppers. There was a pass rusher that was really good. It was a Campus Heroes card. I think I'm getting my MUTs confused there, but there was Campus Heroes in MUT 17. I think we've covered most of it. Team of the week, Football Outsiders is hopefully making a comeback. We saw the filter in the beta for MUT 22. Football Outsiders hopefully coming back to MUT 22. Milestones, if I remember correctly, these were, I feel like these cards had like really big boosts on them for some reason. The logo itself just kind of brings me back thinking that they were really, really good. Tuesday night drafts and Tuesday night heroes, I really don't remember what that was, but it looked like it required badges. We had competitive sets. And then MUT Master, which should have been Rob Gronkowski. We had an Ultimate Master, Deion Sanders, 99 overall. We don't get Ultimate Masters anymore, unfortunately. Gold Monster, Casey Hayward, a mid-season Mastered. Looks like Josh Norman. The MUT Master that year was Rob Gronkowski, a 95 overall. Morgan Burnett, Base Chemistry Champion. Scheme Chemistry Champion, Carson Wentz. Wow, these cards are certainly throwback. So a lot of cards based off of chemistry. Looks like I got most of these done. Gauntlet, we don't see Gauntlet anymore in Madden Ultimate Team, unfortunately. But that's mostly it. That's MUT 17 in a nutshell. I feel like this had a lot of content. Obviously, MUT 21 had the most content we've ever seen. But this year had a lot of content. Didn't really like the gameplay in general. Contracts were terrible. Tickets were terrible. But all in all, it looks like it was a fun MUT year. Thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Popular Stranger. I'm out. Peace.